going on and making sure that, we're getting the support we need. So that's the goal of today. But if we get to the micronutrient, how much we get, that's totally, we'll see what happens. So I just want to check in. So since there's only a few of us, please feel free to elaborate and, go deep. Last time we really spoke and we dove into our intentions for the year and our big why and what we wanted to kind of put things in place. So I just want to check in. Did that just get filed away, or is it still front and center and that's your guiding force? Or yes, it's still my guiding force, but yet I'm having obstacles. I'm stumbling, and I want to know all of that. And so maybe one of us can help guide you through that, or just hold you and understand, we got you, we've been there. We know what that's like. So does anybody want to start?
I'll start. I was telling Lisa today that I just have been feeling I just don't really care. Because I just am having trouble, I feel like it's depression from my sister, but Lisa brought up a good point that it could be the sugar actually making me think that I'm depressed, and I'm really not.
It's funny how those chemicals from foods can actually really do that. Absolutely. She's got a real point. They can hijack our brains and our neurotransmitters. So maybe we will go over some of the micronutrient stuff today because it might be timely. But yes, and you could possibly have depression as well. But yes, getting rid of sugar is the best thing anybody can do, right? I know my mood is much better. I feel better, less stomach aches.
And I'm just so tired, because I haven't been sleeping well between the menopause and other things. So I just wake up at between 1 and 3, and then I can't get back to sleep until
so there's a lot of herbal formulas. Dawn, there are lots of herbal formulas for that, but also the more vegetables we can eat, the more you're going to help balance those estrogen and produce those good hormones. So just keep remembering that.
Okay.
And I find that since I've been doing exercise consistently every day, I sleep even better. I didn't have trouble sleeping before, but now that I'm exercising every day, I guess my body's more tired and ready to sleep longer when I go to bed. So that may help.
That's true. That's true. Exactly. And that leads me to what I really want to talk about today. Well, we haven't gotten there on the PowerPoint, but is we have to apply all of the things that we've discussed this year. It's not just some of them. All of it makes a difference. It doesn't mean you need to be perfect all of the time, but it is a formula, right? Every single component is important. Hi, Lisa Taylor.
Hi.
Hi. Anybody else? So each of us are sharing. Lisa, Dawn's sharing right now. She's sharing about she's just not feeling good. Wondering if it's depression, wondering if it's too much sugar and not sleeping. It's not sleeping. There you go. That's the first thing. We got to deal with that. That's nutrition's important, but the first thing is sleep.
Can I share something on that 1 to 3 time frame though? Dawn, can I drive? Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize it was 1 to 3 all the time. So for me, during menopause and after menopause, I have this obsessive time. It's probably between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. And it was very bad a couple years ago, where the same thing would happen and it would cause horrible anxiety, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I learned some techniques about putting yourself in a place that you remember that brought you such joy. So I take myself to a vacation where I saw dolphins in the water. So instead of thinking about all those anxious thoughts and why I can't get to sleep, I'm replacing those thoughts with something else. Because if you don't replace what's going on in your mind, and you
Yeah.
just like, I'm gonna block it, I'm gonna block it, it's just gonna refill back in. You have to
Yeah.
do other things. And then lately, I've been doing the double breathing, where you breathe in for 8 and then you breathe out for 16, or like you double it on the way out. And it
And for
really
you,
does-
Dawn, maybe that Lisa's been practicing breathing a little longer. You might just do breathe in for 6 and out for 6, but keeping it the same. And then
Yeah.
after doing it a few weeks, do the double breathing like she's speaking of.
Oh, okay.
Because the double, right, it works on the nervous system and it calms you.
Exactly. So the parasympathetic nervous system, so it'll release those relaxation hormones, which will, hey, end up putting you back to bed. Because right now
Oh,
that
okay.
you have too much of that cortisol, where that should be lower.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I'd like to just add too, Dawn, don't beat yourself up too much, because a lot of people get down this time of year, especially January,
Yeah.
February. It's not
Yeah.
uncommon.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And now that the weather's changing a little bit, and I'm noticing that it's starting to get, light, stay lighter later. Hopefully that'll help you too. I also, Dawn, I don't think you're alone. I also have a problem sleeping. I'll wake up around, it's usually between 3 and 4. And then,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but similar to Lisa, I'll do some breathing techniques. Sometimes I'll say a little prayer. I just try to relax. And I notice if I could just calm down and exactly what Lisa said. I also try to replace it with some happy thoughts. And if I say to myself, I know I'm going to fall back to sleep. So it's just a matter of time. And I just
Yeah.
try not to stress out about that. But I've been going through that for a long time.
Yeah. Thank you.
And there's also
one thing-
YouTube. There's YouTube, and you could put on like theta music, or there's other sleep meditations that you could put on. And that when I was having trouble sleeping last winter, same thing, menopause done, like that was what I
Yeah.
did, and that really helped. But Lisa said, what everybody said really plays a role. So I just hope that you don't just listen to us, that you take active, apply the knowledge, and maybe not every one of those things is going to work. And if it doesn't work once, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. We have to keep practicing it till we're good at it. Like you might
Right.
remember one vacation, or, you might go back into that, or one happy place, but the next time it's like, it didn't stay there, or it made you start thinking about something else. Then go to a
Yeah.
different one, even make up your own, happy place and hang out there.
And can I just say one more thing?
Of course.
And truthfully, don't beat yourself up. I got to the point now, because I wake up, my alarm goes off at 5. So if I don't get back to sleep, I just say, well, I guess I'm going to have a great night's sleep tomorrow night. And because you'll be
Yeah.
so tired that you'll see. So I kind of just, it is what it is. And you know what? Sometimes I
Right.
think, how am I going to get through school? I've been up since 3. How am I going to? And you know what? You do, because your body does amazing
Yeah.
things. And I try not, I don't even let it get me down.
That's so
Right.
true. It's so true,
True.
because I've had those days too where I don't get the sleep and I'm worrying about it. And you know what? I get through those days just fine. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Hi, Heidi. Hi,
Hey,
Carol.
Heidi.
How you doing?
Carol.
It looks like you're back to work, Heidi.
Yes, I've been back to work for a couple weeks.
All
3
right.
weeks. Yep.
Welcome back. So we're
Thank
just
you.
checking in with where everybody is from our last, from our last meeting or for the year. We're stating how we're doing with our intentions, how are we doing with, are there obstacles, and just want to see where we're at. So I'm going to call on people though. We're just going to go in the order. Lisa Price. You're muted, Lisa.
So I have 2 intentions and one struggle, but so I've been working on getting rid of unhealthy attachments, or just even attachments, because they're just unhealthy, and trying to avoid things that cause me anxiety, like purposefully just avoid them. And I feel like I'm making some inroads with all that stuff, But it's the stick-to-itiveness with the losing weight. I was talking to Joanne the other day where it's like, yeah, I've got like my spreadsheet and I'm checking all kinds of stuff off in the morning, and I'm doing really well with doing yoga and doing gratitude and doing all of these things. But like I just don't do the stick-to-itiveness with losing weight. And
The stick-to-itiveness, does that mean, are you not exercising? Or
no, I'm doing yoga. It's the food. It's the food.
It's the
So,
food.
I mean, it's not obsessive food. But it's, if I'm out, I'm gonna eat what I'm gonna eat. Like I'm just like, why can't I be that person that can lose 25 pounds? Like, why can't I be that person? So why can't I just put my mind to it and just do it? So anyway, that's the conversation. But I'm doing really well with so many other things. I really feel good about that. And I'm like, okay, well, is that going to be the last thing? So I thought, oh, this wedding in that dress is going to motivate me. And it probably has a little bit, but not probably the way it should. So, so that's the struggle. Yeah.
Exactly. That's sometimes it's the why isn't the most important thing for you right now. And sometimes that happens, like it is that date, the prom, the wedding, right? That big 50th party, whatever it is. And sometimes it does, and other times it doesn't. And it's also, like somebody said, it's winter, and it's a harder time of year with that.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any input for Lisa? Any way to support her?
Well, Lisa, I think it just like think about the positive. Like you said, there's so many good choices and you do so many healthy things. Maybe concentrate on that, and maybe from there that can grow. And then it could, you could that will go further into other parts where you are struggling. Maybe that'll kind of take over. Because there are so many great things. Look at all your gardening and all those beautiful fresh foods that you make. So maybe that just concentrate on that and try not to think about what you're not accomplishing and think of what you are being successful at.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I'm trying. I really am. But it's just like that's like I'm just not. Yeah, I need to focus on the positives. You're right.
The salad
So-
I think
looked
we
really
all
good
do.
today.
Yeah. What's that, Dawn?
That salad looked really good today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I had a nice salad. We made some burgers last night with organic meat. And then there was a salad. So I just threw the burger, which we did in the air fryer, on top of the salad with some brine from the ferments. It was good. It was good. But thanks, Dawn. Yeah, it was yummy.
Lisa, maybe it's because I know I struggle with this. My body needs something new. Like most of I get into the routine of my food. I make all the same foods, and I have them in the fridge all week, and I eat the same things, and I don't mind that. Like I'm lucky that I don't get bored. I have the same thing for lunch and dinner every day, and breakfast every day, the same thing, the omelet. But I really want to try different things because Georgia has talked about the need to do that, the reasons for doing that. But even with exercising, for a whole 2 years, I was walking the 10,000 steps a day and doing really well with it. And my body was changing and losing weight and everything. But now that's not enough. And I started a couple weeks ago doing like a cardio and strength training. It's only 30 minutes every morning.
Yeah.
Actually, Denise Beckson turned me onto it. It's something you join on Facebook.
Yeah, you were saying about that.
Yeah, so I feel like that's waking up muscles and things, and it's helping me lose a little more. So it's doing something different, like taking it to another level or something.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that is good.
Exactly. It is about that. It's like peeling away the onion, or even thinking it's like rising your vibration. So you're always going to have to be striving for more. We can't just expect always to stay the same, right? We got to change, whether it's the foods, the exercise, right?
Yeah.
The sleep, everything. It's got to keep better relationships, saying boundaries, right? That's a huge one. For you, I know that, like, it's having boundaries and saying no, and staying out of places and not opportunities, but experiences that are going to cause anxiety. also play a big role.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Who are going to go to Joanne next?
I was just remembering a conversation Lisa and I had the other day, and she said, "Oh, we're so opposite." I mean, we're alike in so many ways, but do you remember the opposite way, Lisa? Like,
Well,
I,
yeah, I do. You're going to tell them?
yeah, I
Yeah.
can eat really well when I'm out with other people. Like, if I'm at somebody's house or I'm with them at dinner or something, I do really well. It's almost like I make that other person sort of hold me accountable without even saying anything. I do well in front of others. But home alone, I'm okay at home usually because I have no bad food in the house. But on my own, I might go out to the Dollar General or the Wawa and come home and then have it or call a takeout or something. Like, that's my issue is home alone. I do bad. And Lisa's like, "Oh, I'm the total opposite. I do fine at home, but then when I'm
I
out
know
with
that
other people,
feeling.
I have the wine, I have
Yep.
the dessert."
Mhm. The
So-
My
bread.
question always with that is whenever we do let go, whether it's the Dollar General or going out to eat, like, do you feel depleted the next day? Like, that's the question. Do you feel as well as you did? Is that serving your highest good? Like, that's
Nope.
what really, like, for me, I went to Cheesecake Factory on Saturday, and I love Cheesecake Factory. I think the menu is huge, the food's great. I get to, have a veggie burger if I want, French fries, and then of course those cheesecakes, but I like was looking at the menu and I'm like, okay, yeah, I could get this. So I did get the veggie burger. However, they didn't have the one that I wanted. They only had that Impossible Burger. I'm like, okay, well, I never eat the whole thing because the one time I ate the whole thing, I felt like crap. But if I eat half of it, I feel good. Eat a couple French fries because I eat them like once a year when I go there. Like, I don't eat them. So, but didn't eat all of them, right? Because it's really important. But I wanted to. Oh, I can get that artichoke. Oh, I can get that fried egg roll. But I know what would happen inside of me is I'm not going to feel good the next day. I'm not going to be motivated. And now I'm going to beat myself up and I'm going to go down that rabbit hole. So those are the questions, like, I invite you to ask yourself when you're going through, like, making choices. It's like, mine is always, does that serve my highest good? Does it serve me? And usually if you ask that right away, does that serve my intention? The answers usually comes pretty clearly. Or then you start to negotiate. I don't need to have everything, I can have just some of this. I don't need to have all of it. And that usually is I found that's a better way to say, oh no, I don't need it. It's better just to have a few tastes and just be like, okay, that's enough. I got what I needed. So anything else that you wanted to add to that, Joanne?
Oh yes, I am very much looking forward to tomorrow, starting the detox.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I've been pretty good, the past few weeks I've done really well. But I'm really looking forward to the detox. It really gets me going, especially that first 7 days.
I really feel like I'm prepared this time. Like, I've gone into other times where I don't feel like 100% prepared, both like mentally and the stuff I have in the house. But now I feel like I'm like excited for tomorrow morning to come.
Yeah. Yeah. I have so many
Yeah.
extra veggies right now, like extra things, because I know I'm going to go through them so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm going to go to Heidi next.
How are we doing? Oh, it's intention, or how are we doing?
Yeah, how are you doing? Checking in with the intentions that you worked on setting the last time. And what obstacles are you running into?
If I was by myself, I'd be doing fabulously. Well, the issues that I'm coming across is my family. Because there's just a lot of drama going on. So I'm trying to stay out of the fix it mode, which I've been doing pretty good on that. Like, I'm not fixing other people's issues. So that was one of my intentions, is to stay out of that
Good.
situation.
That's hard.
However, it's still raking on me because I'm still there and I still have to deal with it. So I have to still listen to people moaning and groaning, and I'm just like staying in my place. Like, I'm not going to go help you. I'm not going to, which has been okay, but people are not liking it too much, and I really don't care. But I think my biggest thing is because of all that stuff that's going on, it's not even a matter of what I'm eating. It's the cortisol, it's the stress, it's the fat hormone that is just not allowing me to release the stuff that I am doing that's productive. You know, usually I'm here in my office and I would snack. I don't snack, and I do have snacks in here for the kids, but I haven't been snacking since I've been back. And I've been staying on track with my work. I finally got the majority of my work. I was so far behind, you guys don't even know. My paperwork is like the worst. It's like the weakest thing ever. And so far I've been back on track, and like just before I logged on there, I finished my note for today. So everybody that I've seen, everybody I've talked to, anything I had to do that has to do with notes, it's done already.
That's
So
great.
that was
You
my-
made such progress.
Yeah, it
That's
took me
really
forever,
big. I
but
see that. Exactly,
Yeah,
but
and-
just keep going. Remember, habits. That's the thing where all of us, persistence, you know, those three
Mhm.
P's, that the persistence, living on purpose, being disciplined, and know that of course those old habits are like, they're right there. They're ready to like, oh, come to me, come to me.
yeah, they're
right?
easy. They're easy. I mean, that's the thing. Like I could last Friday when I left work, I was like, well, you know, I just left my session. I'll just go ahead and do it on Monday. Well, I knew I was not going to do it on Monday. I knew I wasn't going to do it. If I didn't do it Friday before I left to go home, I wasn't going to do it on Monday. And then I would go back into that same merry-go-round of, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. So I made a point of, before I left, getting that done. And then today, you know, when we get done here, I'm done this note already. I just put this note in from doing group. I just got done group at like 5:15. So I already put all the notes in for today. And then here I'm on the call. So that's, I'm
You're
making
doing
progress
great.
in that
That's
area.
great. And I
Mhm.
think like Lisa's practicing as attachments. I think you both are, you know, similar, you know, that's we all need to keep working, not being attached, right? Even to experiences. Like I had 3 horrible things happen today, and, you know, like working on like not being attached to them, and to focus on that highest good, right? To focus on that intention that I have forth is key, because it's so easy to get drawn in and beat yourself up. How could I have done that, right? Or how could they have done that? You know, those types of things. So it's really important to forgive, let go, forgive, let go. That's key. So congratulations on your
Thank
success.
you.
Lisa Taylor.
What I'm happy about is that I continue, like I don't give up, and I continue and continue. What I've been struggling with is, and I realized that I have to think a little bit, and I've said this before, but maybe now I could put it to action, is like put myself and my needs a little bit before others so that I can get done what I have to get done and do what I have to do. I'm happy. I'm like others have said, I'm happy with what I have accomplished so far. I'm happy with my routines. I'm happy with my habits, although sometimes I stray off them, and it is the food thing that I just stray, and then I make my way back. But also I need to get back on track with exercising, because I was doing it for so long, so good, and now it's just like, whatever. So I really kind of want to get that back rolling too. But I just have to work on myself, and have to work on doing what I have to do for myself instead of running around for everybody else all the time.
Yeah, so maybe that intention will come set forth in that second, third, or fourth week of the detox. And maybe that can be the next thing that happens. FYI, Robin is going to join us for next year. She's going to do some parts of the program with us, and she's going to really focus on that fitness part, because I think that that's an integral part for mental health, but for aging, and for immunity, and for overall for looking good and confident. So that might also help you with getting your, you know, because they'll be more consistent. She's pretty motivating. I did offer her to, because some of her classes were a tad bit hard, to maybe make some adjustments for our group. So we'll
That'd
see.
be good.
But I think just keep thinking that, okay, I'm going to start during my detox, my next fresh start month. I'm gonna start this. Like Joanne, can you just talk about, because now it's been 2.5 weeks now, right? So tell us how all the benefits you're having.
What, of the exercising?
Exercising, yeah. Like what are you feeling?
Oh, well, certain muscles I haven't used in a long time because every day it's different. Like they never do the same thing twice. One day it's legs, one day it's focus more on triceps, like, and one day it's more just cardio. So it's something different every day. And
Nice.
which
What
is
is the-
good, because if it was me doing it on my own, I would do the same things, the things that I like all the time.
Mhm.
No,
So I'm-
seriously, what's the Facebook page, Joanne?
I have to send it to you. It's
Okay.
it's a local person. I think she's from Wildwood that that Denise knew.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. And so like some days my legs will hurt from the previous day, that kind of thing. So like I'm feeling that I'm working muscles every day. Something different is a little,
Well,
but it doesn't hurt
that-
that much. I
Yeah.
tailor it myself. Like she's the girl that does it is younger than me, and so are a lot of the people that seem to be doing it. So like I don't jump when they do jumping jacks and things like that. My knees hurt, so I just do it in place and just move my feet out. And I try to do the arms all the time because that gets the cardio up. And I still feel like I'm getting a really good workout. Sometimes when they do lunges, I don't do them to the extent that they do them because my knees don't like them. So, but I'm still trying to do what I can to work up a
Mm.
sweat, and I always do. So
Yeah.
I feel energetic. Well, for one thing, I feel proud of myself because I do it. Listen to this. I'm in a chat. They have a challenge. If you do it every day for the 50 days, like you win some of the money. There's a big pot of money at the end. So you have to do it every single day except Tuesdays. But she does them live Monday to Friday at 5:30 in the morning, Saturday and Sunday at 7:30 in the morning. You can do it live, or you can do it anytime during the day, like, because it's recorded and it's on the Facebook page, so you can do it anytime, but you have to do it that particular day. So I've been doing it for 2 weeks now, live, 5:30 every morning.
Wow.
I do it, and then 7:30 on the weekends. And I feel great doing that because otherwise it'd be too hard to fit it in some days. And then you're like, I'm going to just skip it, So I wanted to make sure I did. So far, so good. I'm tired.
Wow,
I'm really tired at the end of the day now.
Joanne, that's really neat. And let me tell you, there's one other thing that's probably benefits you. Like I know that right now, because I haven't been exercising, like my joint, like I feel stiff. I don't feel flexible, so that probably helps so much with that.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
do. And she stretches beforehand and stretches afterwards. So it feels really good. Yeah.
Mm.
Highly recommend it.
that's
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
Mhm.
So let's go to Carol now.
There. Hi. Well, I'm accomplishing getting rid of things, which feels really good. Things that I just don't need. I'm having difficulty staying on track. I'm really looking forward to the detox tomorrow. I think that that's going to be really good. That's about it. It's cold. I'm just cold all the time lately. I think it's just the weather and it's hard to stay on track. So I know I was thinking a bit about Joanne, how, oh, excuse me, in the detox, you have to check everything off. And
Take a drink.
that'll
Take
work for
time.
me.
We're not in a rush. Take a drink.
Yeah, well, that'll work. That really works when I get the chart out and do it all. So I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow.
Good. And then we get you back to yoga, and you're feeling good too. 'Cause
Well, and I'm disappointed in myself because we talked, Georgia, that I was going to do yoga and I didn't follow through. And I'm really upset, was very upset with myself. That
okay,
the
let's
last,
take a moment here. Let's put our hand on our heart. Come on, let's do this. And all of us, there's something that I know I could do this because I did something that wasn't very nice today yesterday to my sister. So let's just like hold onto our hearts. I'm sorry. I forgive myself. I love you. Thank you. And that's it.
And a big hug.
Okay, yeah, big hug too.
Yeah.
So just do that. Like, let's just we all can beat ourselves up. Like before you all got on, I was telling Lisa, I had a really, really, really hard day, and, I could choose to not, or I could choose to really dive into that and like give up. And, like Dawn said, I don't have any, I felt like that, like today, Dawn, I was crying my eyes out. I understand you. I get it.
Oh,
I know what that feels like, sometimes we just try so hard. Carol, I get it. Like, you're not alone. You just want to go and exercise. Joanne felt that for years, like long time, to get to this type, do this type of exercise. It takes, and you know what?
Yeah.
But if we keep beating ourselves up, like Lisa Taylor said, it's not going to serve us, right? We got to let go and then focus on the good. Just got to keep
Right.
doing it. But we can't hold on to it because it's going to be so heavy, our bag of stuff, right?
Oh, I
It's gonna
know.
be so
Yeah.
heavy. We're not going to have that lightness of being to move to where we want to move to. So we got to
Right.
forgive, we got to let go, and ourselves, yeah, and others as well, because it doesn't serve us to hold on to anger with them either, right?
Right.
So,
Can I say
that's
something real
it. You're gonna
quick?
go back to, yeah, of course.
As far as like the exercise goes, I find when I don't have the time, I mean, what's wrong with isometrics? We've been doing that for like ever. Or even I'm sitting at my desk here, I mean, they have like chair exercises where the whole time you're sitting, you could like do your leg lifts. That's what I kind of do when I'm here. If I'm sitting in my office, because it's kind of like being on the airplane for hours, you know what I mean? And you got to move. So it's like, you may look crazy, but everybody thinks I'm crazy anyway. So I kind of turn my blinds a little bit, but I'll just like do like a mermaid kick or something like that under the desk, or, I'm just doing stuff like, cause nobody sees me, like dance
I
like
do the
nobody's
same thing,
watching.
Heidi. I do the same
Right?
thing. When I'm brushing my
Yeah,
teeth,
so-
I march in place.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's always time to just like move. You don't have to necessarily do a
Workout.
a set time or a set class or whatever. It's just like whatever.
Exactly. I do it a lot to change my mood state. I just put music on or not put music on and start dancing around. And I just do like twists and play around, so there's always like, I love that. And that'll keep you warmer, Carol.
Yeah, for
Kidding.
sure.
I'm just going to share my screen here. Thank you all for sharing today. Super awesome. Let's see if I can find. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
What does it say?
Love your body, love your life, micronutrients.
Yay, I did it. Okay, so almost there. I just had to get to my slideshow, but this bar is here. I just got to move this bar. Slideshow. Play from start. Okay, so basically we're going to talk about today is micronutrients, and I'm not going to go into it in so much science base. My intention of this program is to inspire and to empower you to take more concerted, mindful effort to eat these water soluble vitamins, these fat soluble vitamins, whether you do a combination of from your foods and from your supplements. I did start to say, I hear 3 of you are going on to the detox. I think it's 3, right? I just want to make sure I have everybody in there. I have Joanne, I have Lisa, and Carol. Is there anybody else that's doing the jumpstart that I need to input in the system?
I want to do it, but I'm not able to do it until next week. So I'll be like a week behind you.
Okay, but I'll enter you in anyway. So you can, if you wanted to attend tomorrow night, you can, attend even though you're starting next week. That's great. But those of you that are not doing it and you want to up level yourself now, and I mean this in all different ways, your emotional body, your mental body, your physical body, your spiritual body, you could do that fiber challenge that we've done before. I really, the more and more I'm practicing on myself, the more I realize how important that is. You know, and then I just keep doing research day after day, and the fiber is just the thing that is going to literally change our microbiome. Okay, so that is key. So really, if you're not going to do the detox, just do the fiber challenge for the month. So we're still all staying in this groove of getting healthier. Okay, so like I said in Facebook, you know, figure out like what fiber foods are and start to keep track. Goal is 25 to 30 grams a day. So basically 10, 10, 10, 10. If you don't make 10, pretend sometimes if you have eggs for breakfast and even eggs and spinach, you're not getting, you know, maybe one gram of fiber. That's not going to be your meal. But if you have a smoothie, right, you can easily be 15 grams, right? That's an easy way. If you have oatmeal, you know, that's another great way. Definitely a 10 gram meal. So just thinking about that. And like I said, if anybody is like, oh, I'm not necessarily sure, please connect with me. Let's get this, you know, happening for you. Remember the last time we did this, I remember, I'm not gonna say all the names, but like going to the eliminating better. That was like a lot of you were like, oh my gosh, that was great. Like it was like having an orgasm. It was wonderful to hear. Then I heard I lost weight, you know, it was 2 pounds, you know, just from doing that. I heard I slept better, but long-term use, if you do that on a regular basis, you will change your microbiome, which will support your immunity and your mental health along with your digestive health. So I know somebody's in the chat. I'm just going to see because that just popped up to me. Oh, okay. Sorry. Lisa's doing the detox too. Okay. 2 Lisas, so 4. Okay. Then Heidi. All right. Perfect. Now I just need to get rid of this little So next meeting is February 23rd. Making peace with food is our next topic. So I just want to talk about 3 Ps. I know they're a little different than the 3 Ps I talked about 2 years ago, but possibility. Just remember the power of possibility. That's where we want to live our life. I want that to be our guiding light. Like what is possible for me, not what I can't do. You know that word impossible, I'm possible. So just keep thinking that. What lies ahead of me? Not I can't do this, there's not enough time. What is possible? I promise you start training your mind that it's like, wow. And then each time you do that, because we get stuck in ruts of behavior and thought patterns, right? You can shift. The next one is persistence. That's just that idea of being determined, being disciplined, doing things consistently. You know, it's that power of living on purpose, that intention, reading that intention statement, reading your affirmations, keep taking the supplements, drinking the water, moving the body. Like Heidi said, it doesn't have to be consistent. It could be a couple minutes here and a couple minutes there. But all of those things really play a role. The 3rd P is the power of applied knowledge. So really, like I could be sitting here teaching you about micronutrients, for example, the water soluble vitamins, the fat soluble vitamins, and you start to see some of the benefits. But yet, if you don't take action on what you learned, you didn't learn anything. Learning only takes place when you've made a change. So that's the key, is to remember that the power of applied knowledge. Now, this program, the difference of this program versus like other programs is it's integrative, it's holistic, it's dealing with all aspects of your being. We focus on your mindset, your limiting beliefs, learning what our limiting beliefs are so we can change the beliefs. And remember, sometimes you can't change things so quickly. Yes, it sounds great. Oh yeah, you're going to do that in 30 days, right? But it takes time to change old beliefs. But if we practice, we focus on that possibility, it happens. Okay, so remembering all those things play play a role, right? And then
Mm.
like Lisa said, I'm doing all these things, you know, and I'm making progress. But then she said, it's the food, it's going out, right? Like she was able to identify, right? She knew she sat there, she went deep, she went honest, it's the food. I could do better with the food, right? And so nobody's ever asking you to be perfect, but all we're asking is every single day, wake up and say, I'm going to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. Today is the day I'm just going to be a little bit better. I'm going to be a little bit kinder. I'm going to forgive a little bit faster. I'm going to make a little bit more effort to put better food in my body. I'm going to make better effort to just eat, and maybe my portions are going to be smaller today. I'm going to see that, you know. So thinking about putting together all of that, and I know you will find more peace and fulfillment in your life. Does anybody want to talk on this or ask questions on these 3 Ps? No? Okay. So we'll just give you 2 other little things. We still have spots for Italy. Would love to have some of you consider coming May 14th to the 21st. And then in February, there's lots of different events happening. Like you said, we're doing the detox, but we're also doing a lot of other things that will support your journey. So that'll be really fun. So we're focusing today on micronutrients. And like I said, I'm not going to go so deep into that, but micronutrients are your vitamins and your minerals. So your vitamins they can be broken down. They're fat soluble, there's water soluble vitamins. But the minerals, they are really coenzymes. They help the other guys do what they have to do. So they all play a role as much as, you know, that's why I love the supplement line by Nutrimetrics, is they have the supplements in the proper portions that the body wants it to use. Many of these companies out there are just putting like 50 milligrams of everything in there, or they're putting astronomical amounts of something that's not even the right compound for the body to break down. So I love that part of that, but I'm not here to talk about that in particular. So basically your minerals, this is another thing that we're hearing a lot, you know, sodium, that's a mineral. Believe it or not, I've also been doing, getting ready to get that osteoporosis, calcium, building bone little course up. But sodium, when somebody eats too high of a sodium diet, that is also robbing their body of calcium. So interesting enough. So, you know, we want to have just the right, we want to have some sodium, but not too much. Potassium, we know the importance of potassium. Potassium rich diets, by the way, are fiber rich diets. They literally go hand in hand. So what I'm telling you is like, the fiber thing, you don't need to focus on all the minerals and the vitamins. It'll take care of itself, you know, except for your fat solubles. But potassium, people that are of high blood pressure, most of the time don't eat a high fiber diet, or they don't have enough potassium in their body. So potassium is one super important. Magnesium, very important for hormones. Dawn, that might be something that would be the magic thing. You start taking magnesium before bed, you might start to see you're sleeping better. And anybody else that's not sleeping well, super amazing for that. Super amazing for women going through menopause. Also, magnesium's great for headaches and nerves. There's so many things that magnesium's good for. Iron, people who start to be deficient in iron don't have the energy that they need. They become anemic, and there's so many different kinds of anemia out there. And some of it's geared from having digestive difficulties that we're not addressing. So calcium, right? We already know calcium's super important for bones, but guess what? It's also really important for our nerves and, you know, nerve function and acid-base balance. So it's got a lot of roles. You know, zinc, important for wound healing, skin, phosphorus, too much phosphorus, people who drink soda. All those people who drink soda have such brittle bones, right? It's so dangerous. But phosphorus also has a role to work 1-to-1 with calcium. So they're like buddies. So all these little guys, like sodium and potassium, one's intercellular, one's extracellular. Like it's magical. Like when we get down on ourselves and we think, oh my God, this life is so hard, or this sucks, I keep trying and it's not working, right? When we get like that, then if we took a moment to understand the magnificence of this body and how it functions, it's amazing. It's like our creator, like how, I don't even, it's just mind baffling how it could be. But this is why it's so important, because we want to feed this body what it needs. These are things that some of these our bodies can synthesize and make different vitamins and minerals, but not all. Some are essential and have to be taken from our food. Copper is another one that is we're not getting enough of in our lives. Iodine, same thing. It's an epidemic, and we're not even testing for it. It's not even addressed. But I guarantee in your lifetime, you will see iodine. It'll be like, it will be one day like the one thing that, oh, we need to focus on iodine, And selenium, that's another one, big, powerful antioxidant. Selenium is really hard to get out of our foods, but it is in Brazil nuts. I know some of you already have applied knowledge. Some of you have done that. The power of that, right? Applied knowledge is using that. 2 of them gives you that selenium need. Selenium I know I'm probably talking through the PowerPoint, and I apologize because I'll have to stop, but selenium is one of those amino acids or antioxidants that can move into glutathione, which is like the master antioxidant. So those 2 Brazil nuts can do you wonders, and at this time with the virus, 4 Brazil nuts, and I don't care how much weight you're trying to lose, 4 Brazil nuts would be amazing. It's really, better to take that one as food than to go get a selenium supplement. That's not recommended. Okay. By the way, in my opinion. Okay.
With the supplement?
Of a selenium supplement. I think you can definitely get it from food. Just
What other
curcumin.
than,
Curcumin
what-
can have the selenium in it as well.
what
Selenium.
does,
What's that?
what does have the selenium,
Brazil nuts.
What if I don't like Brazil nuts? Then,
Then
because
you
I
might
really
want to
don't,
like
but
the Nutrimetrics curcumin has a good combination of selenium with the
oh, okay,
curcumin.
so it's in, all right, I'll just have to be more aware. Yeah, okay.
So go to the next thing. Okay, so what do? They give us energy, they keep our cells healthy, they help our organs functioning properly. Once again, this is so important, antioxidant production and neutralizing free radicals. If we don't do that, long-term uses, we could end up getting cancer, right? We could end up getting some of those other chronic diseases. So it's so important that we have those proper micronutrients. Allows for proper oxygen distribution through the body, hormone production and regulation, which we all know how important that is, and proper digestion and absorption of those partner, like I was talking about, those partner vitamins and minerals. Okay, so fat soluble vitamins. These are super important. These are ones that they need fat to do what they're going to do. Okay, so these are your A, D, E, and K. You generally will, when you're even taking a supplement, you'll generally take that with food when you're doing them. These are stored in your liver, and they're stored in your fat. So yeah, when you see liposomal, liposuction, lipo means fat, right? So just fat soluble. But one little note, just because, vitamin D isn't necessarily a fat soluble vitamin, it's actually a hormone. So, but that they've classified it as a fat soluble vitamin back when they were doing vitamins. So just FYI. So here, I don't want to bore you, because I don't want to talk at you. So, but if you have questions and you want to go deeper, just ask. Okay. So your vitamin A, is also known, like when we're getting from plants and vegetables, it's also beta carotene. It moves itself into vitamin A. Vitamin A is also one, and there are supplement studies that say don't take a vitamin A supplement. Some of us, if genetically, some of us have gotten the genetic test and you might have trouble converting your vitamin A. I was one of them. So you may, just need to focus on eating more vitamin A foods. But why really important, look what we're doing right now. We're all sitting here in front of a computer. And those carotenoids, which is the vitamin A, are found in our eyes and keep our eyes healthy. When our eyes don't have those different carotenoids in them, that's as we get older, we're more at risk of macular degeneration. And I don't know if anybody knows anybody with macular degeneration, but it's painful and it's not fun. They can't see. I remember my grandmother, she lived till 99 and I took care of her last 6 weeks of her life. And I remember it's like, I can't see anymore. And it was horrible. Like, it was like 1 week I got this clock that the letters were like, or numbers were like this big so she could see, but then it's like she just lost it. And I'm just saying, like, you just want to keep, for me, it's important. So it's really easy. You're going to eat some sweet potatoes, you're going to eat some oranges, peppers, just keeping that in mind. You'll get what you need. So vitamin D deficiency, it's an epidemic. If you did a vitamin D panel, most of us will test low. I tested low the last time. Hopefully I'm good. I've been really consistent with taking 5,000 to 6,500 units a day. So I'm hoping my next time that I go in March that I'm good. But I know the differences what I felt when I was tested and how I felt energetically after I started taking that supplement again. Pretty much everybody that comes in the office, their numbers are low. Very rarely do I see somebody that's up where it needs to be. Even though when we look at LabCorp or Quest, it says like 30 is okay. That's too low. We want it 50 to 100. That's the numbers that you want it to be at. So just if you haven't gotten tested, you want to get tested. Every cell of the body has a vitamin D receptor responsible for more than 500 hormonal responses. So it's really an important kind of vitamin, vitamin D. Anybody, I don't want to talk through if you had questions. Any questions on what we've talked about so far? Feel free to ask.
No, I don't have any questions, but I need to leave my office and go home. So I'm
home.
gonna have to watch the rest of it on the replay.
Okay.
But I just wanted to just see
Great.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, have a great day. And I guess we'll see each other tomorrow, whoever's gonna be on that.
Okay, very
All
good.
right, be
Thanks,
safe,
bye.
everybody.
So back to vitamin D, the deficiencies, osteoporosis, thyroid issues, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, depression, arthritis. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I only put 3 here. So vitamin E, that's another one that can be common, but look what happens. Vitamin E can affect your hormones, anemia, bruising, eczema, skin issues. So really important that we get our good essential fatty acids or EFAs. Many people don't. I mean, we are all of a culture that was raised to be fat phobic. So back to limiting beliefs, some of it, I don't want to eat that. It's too fattening, right? Or we might not be getting the right fats. We might be cooking with olive oil too much, and that's all we're taking. We're not taking any nuts and seeds in, or we're not eating any. We might be eating fish, but we're not eating the omega-3 rich fishes. So kind of keeping that in mind. But you can also get this from, once again, nuts, seeds, cold pressed oils, even dark leafy greens, sweet potatoes, avocados. So keeping that. And vitamin K is another one that we're going to hear a lot of in the next few years. But vitamin K plays a big role in the bone production and delivering. It's the transporter of delivering the vitamin D to the cells. Very important. When you hear somebody's on blood thinners, Coumadin, right? Then they're like, oh no, I can't have any vitamin K foods. No, that's incorrect knowledge. And I remember being in the hospital, like, now, gosh, 20 years ago, being like, no, that's not the way. It's consistent. If you're on blood thinners, you have to eat a consistent amount of vitamin D. It would be better, or I mean, vitamin K. It would be better to have the broccoli every single day of the week, or the wine every single day of the week. And then instead of having no wine all week and then having a bunch of wine in the weekend, right? So keeping that in mind for the people, friends and family, that have, but vitamin K is in all those really good, healthy foods. And like, I'd rather people like focus on eating a healthy diet than have to be living on those blood thinners, right? Because then this is natural. It's great. So kale, green tea, spinach, broccoli, romaine lettuce, cabbage, asparagus, watercress, oats, peas, whole wheat. So keeping that in mind. Deficiencies, excessive bleeding, heavy periods. So these are your water soluble vitamins. The difference between water soluble and fat soluble, like you can overdo the fat soluble vitamins. You can have them and it can be dangerous. It could have toxicity in your body. And that's where you might run into some very old school physicians who are like, oh no, you don't want to take, they might counter what I'm saying about vitamin D. Oh no, you don't want to take more than 800 to 1,000 IUs. And that's not, it's not up to the latest research, right? You can't, haven't seen that happen, that you can get too much vitamin D. It's just because you can't only get it from what? Sun and supplements. Like you can get little bits in fatty fish, but not so much. But your water soluble vitamins, you can take them in as much as you want, and your body doesn't need them. They urinate out. If you've ever taken too much like of a supplement, even sometimes your daily, I don't know but sometimes you might see daily essentials and you'll be like, oh, the urine is really bright yellow, right? That might happen, but that's your body just letting go of what it didn't need. So why are water soluble vitamins important? They help us produce energy. They help us with our cells. They help, just like we were talking about before, hormone production, regulation. So these are typically your B vitamins and your vitamin C. Vitamin C is also one of those vitamins that will transfer and create glutathione. So this is important to eat these foods that are rich in vitamin C. So typically it's your berries and your tomatoes and peppers and melons, all of those types of things. So really you want to keep, like this time of year, if you're doing the lemon water, that's a really great way. Taking lots of supplements of vitamin D, yes, but 1,000 units is like a typical what people take. Your body is only going to take, remember, it's a water soluble vitamin, 250 milligrams every 2 hours. So you're going to waste your money getting such high potency things. So break that down. But like vitamin C, I think, I don't know, I'd rather eat an orange. I'd rather eat a lemon than supplement personally with vitamin C. Unless if you're going through an infection, if I'm sick or if I feel like I'm getting sick, I put that in, not take that right away. So maybe I'm not going to get it, or I'm going to lower my symptoms of being sick. Yeah, and here, like you see all this stuff about teeth and gums, right? So vitamin C is really important to that. And that is a good indicator. If you're brushing your teeth and you see your gums starting to bleed, that's a great indicator. I'm not eating enough vitamin C. Hypertension is another one, right? That goes along with the potassium, right? They play a role. And you're probably seeing a trend too. When you don't eat good, there's more bruising, there's more anemia. Makes sense, right? So your B vitamins, and these are the best. They're like a family. And you hear people taking B12, and maybe you guys don't hear all this stuff, but I do. And but if you just take B12, you're missing out because all these other ones, they all work together like a family. You know, it's harder for a person who lives alone. They got to do everything, where if, well, except for the drama that goes along with it, but generally a healthy family, you know, they got to do everything. So these guys all work together. But important, you hear a lot, like, I'm just taking biotin for my nails. Well, yeah, but it's better if you took a whole activated vitamin, you know, not just the biotin, because B vitamins are important for literally our digestion. That's one of the big things I know. Energy, having the energy you need to go about your day, super important. Methylation, meaning your DNA, the way you process your DNA. If you're not eating enough B vitamins, you could have gray hair earlier, right? But not just gray hair, just aging quicker, right? That just plays a role there. Let's see, skin problems, I didn't talk about that. Wound healing, thyroid functioning, not being optimal, not sleeping as well. And then this is big, is cognitive decline, memory, that plays a role. So antioxidants. So these are the things that we love. We love antioxidants because they keep our skin looking good. They keep away viruses that we don't want. They keep away bacteria that we don't want. They take, when there's a cancer cell that comes, we stop the duplicating of it. So they play a role. Realize, do you know that I'm just let's move my thing here so you could see. Did you know that each cell gets attacked by 10,000 times a day? And most of those are viruses. So, you know, I know we have this one virus, but it really plays a role. Our own immunity is so important. So just keep that in mind, why it's what we're talking about is so important. So, okay, I pretty much talked about all this. Yeah. So pretty much, do we understand now by the free radicals and the antioxidants? Basically, they just help so there isn't, you know, they pair so we don't have damage happening in our body. Oh, here's my favorite. So glutathione, remember, it's like the master, it's like the queen of all antioxidants. You don't want to go out and, you know, grab a glutathione supplement because they're not very absorbable. That's the problem. But vitamin C, once again, converts to that. I talked about there is like that curcumin supplement has a lot of, you know, converts to have a lot of glutathione. Selenium, Brazil nuts will convert to glutathione. So it's really, this is like the most important. We want to make sure that we have enough in our body, because if we don't, guess what happens? Achy, you know, just don't feel that good, right? There's too much inflammation going in the body. But that also leads to, if you don't pay attention to that inflammation, I'm just getting old, and you're just thinking, what else? Look, see the next step: cancer, diabetes, stroke, Alzheimer, hypertension. That's next, right? So we want to, like, we start to feel inflammation. I got to up my antioxidants. And, you know, how am I going to do that? OPC3, believe it or not, that is one of the most amazing ones because it works on the blood vessels. And some of you know, because you've been taking it, and you notice I don't have as much aches and pains when I take it 2 times a day or 1 time a day, sometimes 3 times a day. But then when I don't take it, I'm much achier. But it really works on the blood vessels, hormones, blood pressure, cholesterol. It's got a lot of benefits. So keeping that in mind, OPC3 is wonderful for inflammation. And I'm like singing its praises because I was so focused on other supplements for a bit, that vitamin D thing I was telling you. So I was all focused on the vitamin D and the calcium, and I stopped taking my OPC3. I get the big bottles, so I wasn't taking it, and I wasn't understanding. I would lay in bed at night and my my knee, I could feel my knees and I could feel my toe and I could just feel this inflammation in my body. And I started within a week. I was like, oh my gosh, after I was taking the OPC3, I felt so much better. I didn't lay in the bed and feel that feeling anymore. So I know personally, again, I knew it was beneficial for many other times, but I was reminded how important that is. So if you've stopped taking it, go back and give it another try. Magnesium, 60% of adults are deficient. And you're seeing that in the stores. People are taking those supplements all the time. And it's not that necessarily, I don't believe our diets are super deficient in eating. I think it's our absorption that's causing the problem, because it's found in so many things. It's just found so much, but sometimes we do need to have supplement. Ringing in the ears, muscle cramps, depression, abnormal heart function, kidney stones, and fatigue. So those are some of the things. So important to eat those things, the green leafies, the pumpkin seeds, the almonds, the beans, the avocado, figs, dark chocolate, bananas, broccoli. So just heard today, some of you came to our the cacao ceremony on the winter solstice, but I just heard from somebody today. She made some major life decisions from that cacao, like pretty powerful. So dark chocolate was super amazing for us in many ways. So why is supplementation necessary? We used to think it's like just, a luxury, but it's actually necessary now to really meet your needs. And I pretty much anybody, even myself, when I get the micronutrient test back, there's usually something. This time was pretty good. I had the vitamin D, and zinc was a little bit low, but I was vegan. So I stopped being vegan and now I eat eggs because eggs have a good source of zinc, and I'm hoping that's going to take away from that. And there's other components there, but I'm not going to go into that. So we've already learned that our soils are depleted, and they're depleted because of the monoculture. By planting the same crop over and over again, we're not putting minerals back in. And this is talking about conventional produce, and sometimes even organic. So like that biodynamic, regenerative agriculture is really more where we want to go to get those rich minerals. And so this is why, believe it or not, what we just talked about, all of these supplements, meaning vitamins and the minerals, the coenzymes, all of them, if they're deficient, leads to chronic diseases. It's the beginning. And the AMA says that it's most of the time it's because of our diet. So I hope that today that I've been able to inspire you to just, get, I understand you have a craving for something and you're going to eat it, but make sure that you get what your body needs. Make time to fit that in so you're healthy, and that's the most important thing. So just remember, we have lots of supplements that are good for you. Now, the anti-aging, great supplement, because it's got a lot of vitamin D, it's got more zinc, it got coenzyme Q10 for the brain, or if you're on statins, but it doesn't have the OPC3 in it. So once again, remember I told you there were other times that I thought there was, and I wasn't taking it. So play a role so that might not be but you might be like, oh, I want that because it's got the CoQ10 and it's got the vitamin D. The B vitamin, if you're not taking that and you want better energy, or you want to get mood, you want some momentum, highly recommend that. You could take that once or twice a day. Even just a regular multivitamin, that's a great idea. Just to help fill in where the gaps are. And then, as you know, one of my favorites is just the simple daily essentials. It's got 4 supplements. It's one thing: water, stir, drink. I love it. I think it's great. My clients seem to love it. They, I hear them just saying, makes me feel great. I won't go travel without it. I see people ordering it month after month, year after year. So I love that. And then this and advanced energy, but that, that's the other thing. Try different things, try new things, don't always get stuck on I have to just do this. Maybe once in a while, treat yourself and try a new supplement. There's so many different options, and I'm always available. I can say, oh, okay, I want to work on my supplement routine, and sometimes we need it. Sometimes we need a little extra push. Sometimes people are hesitant about taking supplements, but they're totally cool with taking medications, right? Like, okay, yeah, you say you need it, but there's definitely, these things can really make a real big difference. But remember, what's really nice about Nutrimetrics, it's an isotonic formulation. Whereas if we were in the hospital and we're getting IV nutrition, 100% would be absorbed into body. When we take these, between 90 and 95% is being absorbed in the body. If we take Centrum, 3% is being absorbed in the body. If we take other types of those supplements, it's between 0 and 20% being absorbed. Remember, I told you about the magnesium. It's not always about what we eat, it's about what we absorb that makes the difference, right? And that's, so even if your stomach is, you have stomach issues, you have leaky gut, you have IBS, taking these, it'll go right into your bloodstream. We don't have to worry about that absorption. Does anybody have questions on the supplements or anything that we've spoken? No? Okay. If you want to talk here. Yes,
there was one supplement that was new, and I wish I wrote it down. I was going to go on the TLS website and look it up. What is a new one that came out that's on their site? I don't know. See, I can't see from if it was a new one. I'll look and I'll get back to you about it. I was wondering about that. It was a new one. Do you know what?
Okay, was it a TLS product or was it a?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so there were a few TLS products. One was called Thermochrome, and
I think
Thermochrome,
that was it.
yeah, so it helps speed up the metabolism.
Okay.
It also has a little bit of that, I don't know, caffeine type of stuff, that guarana. So it gives you a bit of a boost, but it does also speed up your metabolism, but also decreases your appetite. And it works. It is one of those things. If you're not sensitive to that, like I'm just sensitive to, like, I have a lot of energy, like, so I'm not, it doesn't work with me, but
Okay.
like other people, it works very good with. I know a lot of people that love it. I'm just giving you my
Okay.
feedback, I don't
Okay.
think everything's for everybody.
Gotcha.
But I have some if you wanted to try a few of mine, because I didn't finish my bottle. So if you ever want to,
Okay.
you can try it before investing in a whole bottle.
Thank you.
Okay, and then, so just remember, just if you expect, I can't use that word. If you suspect you might have a deficiency of some sort from what we've spoken of, trust your wisdom. You probably do, right? So either do two things. We do micronutrient testing here at the office. You could do that, or start taking the supplement, or start adding the foods, or a combination of all of them. I think that's great to do. And then how are we going to incorporate these? Don't forget, smoothies are an easy way to get all those nutrients in. Soups are another easy way, salads. So kind of just thinking about how you can get them in. So that's pretty much all that I have for tonight. I just want to see if you have your feedback or questions. You were all so quiet. Did you understand everything after seeing it a couple times? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it helpful to go over it again? A reminder?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I find that even as a nutritionist, it's just nice to keep learning. And I even went to an immunity webinar last night, and I was just blown away at how a virus gets into the body. So someday I'll have to share that with you. That was super cool. Super cool. So anybody feel that yes, it helped you, but how did it help you? Can I just hear from a couple of you?
I feel really good that I'm so glad I love spinach. I eat a lot of spinach and I'm really glad because it seems to be good for a lot of things. And I do have a bunch of Brazil nuts in the pantry, but I kind of got out of the habit of eating them. So now I'm going to get back into it.
Good, good. Did I give you? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just how it helped. Well, it's funny because I just started having smoothies again. So this morning I had one, and it is true. Like your body does kind of want certain things at certain times, you know. And the Brazil nut thing jumped out at me again too. I did have them in my fridge for a while. And
I'm so glad. Like I can't stress like the glutathione, like I'm saying, it's like that master antioxidant. And if we can get it from a nut, how fun, you know? Like I love that. And you can just, so keep doing that. You know, yes, they're a little bit of an investment, but they're so worth it.
Is it better to keep them in the refrigerator? The Brazil nut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, I say that, do I always do it? But I've been reading a really great book on fats, essential fatty acids, and she stresses on how even keeping our oils once we open our oil, we are allowing our bottle of oil to be oxidized, right? And so we're remember the free radicals we talked about a little bit. So I don't know, like if that's, to me, that's a little bit excessive because I have the little spout at the top of my olive oil but yes, we do cause damage, you know, with that. So yes, if anything we could put that's fat, flaxseed, refrigerator, oil, nuts and seeds, refrigerator, more we can, the better. They'll last longer. They won't oxidize. Anybody else?
Oh, I just think it was so good to review everything. And like Joanne and Lisa Price said, I forgot about the Brazil nuts. And I was taking those like nonstop before, 2 a day. And how easy is it to do?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to review.
Good. All right. So I get to see everybody here tomorrow except for Dawn. But Dawn, feel free to call me if you want to have some, you know, get yourself pepped up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Georgia, can you get, or maybe it's in that book we have with all the recipes. I kind of got out of the groove also of having smoothies, and I want to get back into it because every time I had a smoothie, I always put the shake mix in it. But because for this first week, we're not using the shake. Is there any recipes that are just readily available that I could I was just going to throw some in.
Well,
but
I would just use the shake. Like you're using that as your protein source.
Oh, you could still use that even though it's the first week? Because I didn't think you were
Yeah,
supposed
I
to.
mean, you have, you know, yes, you might run out if you don't, but yeah, you can
Don't
just
care
use it
about
as your protein source.
Oh, all right. That's great.
Sorry
then.
you
Thank
didn't know that all along. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Oh,
It's
that's
funny
good.
because I had a shake today too for the first time in a while.
wow, we're all like synced up. That's great.
Georgia, I won't be on the call tomorrow though, because I'm going to
Okay.
New York. I'm not going to start probably till Sunday or Monday with the cleanse.
Okay.
Right.
Sunday or Monday. And then Heidi's also next week. Okay, very good. All right, everybody. Well, it was wonderful to see you. It warms my heart. It's always nice. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you, Georgia.
you.
Great seeing
See you
everybody.
tomorrow.
Keep smiling,
Take care.
Georgia.
Have fun in the Big Apple, Lisa. Lisa Price.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Dawn, have an orange. It said it helps depression.
Oh, okay.
And try to get some sunshine. Try to get out there when the weather's nice. Even if it's a little cold, get some sunshine.
Oranges, come on.
Before it starts snowing. Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, find your cat. Like I always find if you find your animals, they always know where the sun is. So you just go find where they are and then you just lay with them. Just be a cat.
Oh, that's good.
I do it all the time. I'm like, and then I found my dog started finding the sun. I'm like, oh, good. Yay. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.